Okay, let's take a look. Grab X. Uh-oh, it doesn't work. So let's take a look at the code. Well, I can give it away. This broke on me because as I'm typing it out. So I know the answer. And the answer is, and I wish that it color coded. Need a capital C right there. Remember, that's the importance of camel case. So the first letter is lowercase, and then the second letter of the next word is uppercase. And let's reload, and we do grab X. Giant spider defeated. Now, I want you to pay attention as a side note, and we're going to wrap back around to this. You see where it says capital GRAB space lowercase a? Okay, now watch this. If I replace it with an uppercase A, it doesn't work. Well, here, let me reload. Grab X. It shouldn't work, and it doesn't, because it doesn't match the value within here. And we can work with that here in a second. But remember, your character has a choice between picking up an axe and picking up a sword. So if it's grab sword, if I can spell it correctly, it doesn't work. And that's where you need the else statement, because you want the character to pick up the axe and you don't want them to pick up the sword. So if they put in sword, you got to set this to false because they didn't pick up the axe. It's true that you wanted to pick up the axe. It's false that you want them to pick up the sword. That isn't the answer you want them to input. Now, the structure of the code, since we already structured this, I mean, all you have to do is copy and paste and change some values. So if you go Control C, Control V, and let's set this to, else as the exception, and since it's an else statement, obviously you're not going to add the true statement. So let's get rid of that. And remember, let's go ahead and park that down there farther because these little curly brackets can get a little confusing. But again, if you click on them, it's just a match game. And you don't want it to say giant spider defeated, maybe giant spider ate you. And let's take a look. Giant spider. Oops. So if I say not giant spider ate you, but if I say grab sword, giant spider ate you. And you can make this an entire paragraph. Giant spider lunges at you, just as long as it's in quotes. Or maybe giant spider lunges at you and eats you, you respawn, choose something else. There you go. And we can go over it later. If you want, we can go more in depth. You could add sound effects. So if they make the decision and it's the wrong, because that's an event, play sound like, ugh, if they make the wrong decision, or dun, 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 if they defeat the spider or something like that. We can look into that later, but it just adds more into this event listener, into this function, because the guts of this is what you want to do. Now remember, so this is wrong, but technically, if you do grab capital case, capital A, giant spider ate you, because this is wrong. It's trying to match the string. And what you're going to want to do is when you start the game, you want to inform your user that they are using proper sentence structure. Okay, so grab capital A X isn't going to work. You want grab lowercase and maybe add a period. So in your string, if you want to be consistent, you add a period. grab axe. That's one whole statement. So if you do, at this point, if you do grab axe without the period, giant spider ate you. So you might, so this could be like, if you are trying to teach, first graders sentence structure or something like that. This is like a first grade skill or something like that. So your users are going to get all ticked off, but they're using a first grade skill. Now, there are synonyms to grab. It could be pick up axe. So if you say pick up axe. Oops, let's reload so you get the result. Pick up axe. Pick up axe. Period. Still says giant spider ate you, but you grabbed the axe, you picked up the axe. So you got to add a else if, because you don't want your users to get too angry. You don't want them to have to write exactly what the string should say. You want a little bit of give. They're going to get upset if they don't get the synonym right of between pickup and grab. So pickup is actually probably a better pickup axe. That's more correct, because grab could be, something, because the axe is on the ground, you want to be as clear as possible. So let's use pick up, but they may also say grab axe. And that's where you want to use a if else or else if. And since basically what you're doing is just adding another true statement, then all you need to do is just copy and paste this and change a couple of values, change a couple of things. So remember it's else if, ELSE, and it lights up. Sometimes I get it confused. I go if else, and that'll work. So sometimes I get them confused, but it's if else. And you want it to say grab. And you keep the same. So instead of giant spider defeated, you could put something like you swing the axe and it kills the giant spider. Instead of just giant spider defeated. So let's see if grab axe works. Oops, see, I didn't use proper sentence structure. As you can see, I screwed it up. I always get this confused. It's else if. I always mess that up. So let's go. Let's see, grab AXE. And so part of the difficulty that if you are going to code anything, so like let's say you code a front end website and you want your user to enter data and you have to have them enter correct data. The else if is kind of tough because you have to anticipate how your user may enter technically incorrect data, because technically this is the correct data, okay? You have to anticipate how your user is going to interact with your website. So pick up, grab, I can't think of any other synonyms for it, but if you can think for another synonym between pick up, grab, obtain, if you want to put in obtain, I don't think anybody's really gonna use obtain axe. It'll spit back, the strings have to match. And if you can come up with like synonyms, you just keep adding different else if statements until you get the desired result. And obviously you have people beta test it who have not seen your code or anything about the game. they beta test it, and the beta testing would be, I used this word and it didn't work. And if you as the coder is like, oh, that's reasonable, I didn't think of that synonym, then you use that feedback and you add it to the code. So it's kind of like, just like in English class where you write a rough draft and someone edits it and then you got to rewrite the final draft. Coding is a back and forth process. So yeah, you got to beta test it. Anyways, that's how you use Boolean values to validate string text. All right.